Welcome to Der Hair for Kids. Join us as we explore the fascinating lives of our Rabbeim. This episode has been generously sponsored by the Shem Tov family from Nanaimo, Canada. In the previous episode, we discussed how Reb Yisroel worked as a Bahelfer, or teacher's assistant, in Brody. At the same time, he also tutored an orphan boy who was living in the home of Reb Gershon, the Rav of the nearby town of Kitov. Eventually, Reb Yisroel got engaged to Reb Gershon's sister, Leah Rachel. The Rav, Reb Gershon, was very upset about the shidduch, because he had no idea what kind of tzaddik and Talmud Chacham Reb Yisroel was. At the time, Reb Yisroel was hiding his greatness and acting like a simple person. "Leah Rachel," demanded Reb Gershon, "you come from a family of respected Rabbonim and Talmidei Chachomim. I would be able to marry you off to a great Talmud Chacham, someone who would be a worthy addition to our family. How could you possibly agree to marry such an Am Ha'oretz, such an unlearned person? It is an embarrassment to the family. Leah Rachel, you must cancel the engagement, and now." Leah Rachel, Reb Yisroel's Kala, knew very well who her future husband really was, and therefore she refused to break the engagement. "My dear brother, with all due respect, I have decided to marry Yisroel, and that is what I'm going to do." Reb Gershon kept on bothering his new brother-in-law. He would often tell Reb Yisroel, "My poor sister doesn't deserve to have such an unlearned man as a husband. Who asked you to marry her?" Despite Reb Gershon's disappointment, Reb Yisroel and Leah Rachel got married, and they had 2 children, a boy who they named Tzvi and a daughter who they named Odel. One winter Friday afternoon, Reb Yisroel suddenly said to himself, I feel so tired," and he quickly fell asleep. In his sleep, "Oh my, I see an old man with a great light shining from his face, standing in front of me. Yisroelik, I have been sent from Shamayim to teach you Torah. Every day you should leave the city and go to the mountains. I will come there every day to teach you the secrets of the Torah. But you cannot tell anyone about this, even your wife." "What is your name?" asked Reb Yisroel. "Why do you need to know my name? When the time comes, you will find out." Reb Yisroel awoke, shocked by the dream. "Whoa, what just happened? Wait, that was a dream. Oh my, that dream, it felt so real. What could it possibly mean? Well, the Torah does tell us that dreams don't mean anything. I guess I'll just go about my day as if nothing happened. It is Friday afternoon. I need to go to the mikveh to prepare myself for Shabbos." Reb Yisroel went to the mikveh. While he was in the water, Reb Yisroel thought to himself, I don't believe it. It's that same stranger who came to me in my dream. He is here again, and I'm seeing him while I am awake. I'm shocked. I will get out of the water. Whoa, I feel like a spirit of Kedusha has just come upon me. Wow, I feel so calm. That night, which was Friday night, after davening and the Seudah, Reb Yisroel went to sleep. In his sleep, Reb Yisroel thought to himself, "What am I seeing? It's the old man. He is here again." "Please take this dream seriously," said the stranger. "This is not just a meaningless dream. Do as I am telling you now. On Sunday morning, leave the city and head towards the mountains. I will meet you there in between the 2nd and 3rd mountain outside the city. But remember, Before you come, you must toivel, dip in the mikveh 4 times. Reb Yisroel woke up. I am sure that this dream must be taken seriously. I will have to do as the stranger had told me. The next morning, which was Shabbos morning, Reb Yisroel came to shul. Until now, Reb Yisroel had successfully hidden his greatness and acted like an unlearned man, so no one paid any attention to him. The Gabbai, Reb Meshulam, and his friend Reb Oizer were sitting in shul speaking to each other, waiting for the davening to begin. Suddenly, Reb Oizer excitedly told his friend, Reb Meshulam, look who just walked into the shul. Quickly, turn around. What, Reb Oizer? What could possibly be so interesting in the back of the... Whoa! I don't believe it. It's Reb Yisroel, the Behelfer. Look what had happened to him. Reb Oizer agreed. I know. His face is shining with a great light. He looks like a completely different person. You would think he's a great tzaddik. Reb Meshulam asked his friend, Reb Oizer, maybe he really is a big tzaddik. Reb Meshulam, what are you saying? Reb Yisroel can't be a tzaddik. He can't even read Hebrew. Well, Reb Oizer, if Reb Yisroel is just a regular person, how do you explain why Reb Yisroel looks so special all of the sudden? I don't know, Reb Meshulam. Tell me, would you give Reb Yisroel an aliyah? I don't think you've ever given him one. You know what, Reb Oizer? I think I might. But it wasn't just the Gabbai and his friend Reb Oizer who noticed the change. Everyone in the shul turned around and started staring at Reb Yisroel as if they were seeing him for the very first time. Reb Yisroel thought to himself, why is everyone looking at me like that? They must notice something special about me. The truth is, I shouldn't be surprised, since I started to feel completely different as well from the time that the stranger revealed himself to me in that dream. During Kriyas HaTorah, Reb Meshulam, the Gabbai, did something he had never done before. He approached Reb Yisroel and offered him an aliyah. Was ist euer Name? What is your name? He asked. Yisroel ben Harav Eliezer. That afternoon, during Shalashudus, Reb Yisroel's brother-in-law, the Rav Reb Gershon, greeted him respectfully for the first time ever. Good Shabbos, Reb Yisroel. How are you feeling? You know something, Reb Yisroel? You have really changed. You look like you have become a completely different person. Of course, Reb Yisroel couldn't reveal the secret, that a special stranger had promised to teach him the secrets of the Torah. The very next morning was a Sunday morning. Reb Yisroel woke up early and toiveled. He dipped in the mikveh 4 times. Outside it was snowing hard and the ground was slippery. But Reb Yisroel just put on a warm coat and started making his way through the snow to meet the stranger. Reb Yisroel began to sink and slip in the snow when he suddenly heard a noise behind him. Reb Yisroel turned around to see a non-Jewish peasant riding towards him on a sleigh pulled by 2 horses. I feel bad to see you walking in this weather. Please join me in my sleigh. I'm also going to the mountains. Thank you so much, said Reb Yisroel as he got onto the sleigh. After getting past the second mountain, Reb Yisroel climbed off the sleigh and started walking. Sure enough, there was the holy stranger, just as he had promised. Here, come into this cave. Reb Yisroel came into the cave which the stranger had pointed to, and found it well lit and beautifully set up, with a table and 2 chairs. The stranger took out a book that was hidden inside his coat, put it on the table, and opened it to the first page. Look inside and start reading out loud, the stranger told Reb Yisroel. The stranger spread out his hands above Reb Yisroel's head as a sign that he was giving Reb Yisroel a bracha. Reb Yisroel began to read from the Sefer. He thought to himself, I feel like the gates of wisdom are opening before me. I feel that a new neshama has been given to me. I feel like I am standing at Har Sinai before Hashem." After 2 hours of learning, the stranger closed the sefer and said, "That's enough for today, my son. Come back tomorrow and we will continue our learning. But remember, do not tell anyone about this." The stranger silently walked with Reb Yisroel back to the city, gave him a bracha, turned around, and left. From then on, every day, Reb Yisroel studied with this unnamed stranger in the hidden cave. This continued for a full year, until one summer day, as the stranger was walking Reb Yisroel back to the city of Brody, the stranger suddenly announced, "The time has come for me to tell you who I am. I am Achia Hashiloini." Achia Hashiloini? The one who experienced Kriyas Yamsuf and Matan Torah? Achia Hashiloini? A student of David HaMelech, teacher of Eliyahu Hanavi? He is my teacher? I can't believe this. I feel like I'm going to faint. Reb Yisroel fell to the ground in a faint. When he awoke, Reb Yisroel stood up respectfully to hear what his Rebbe, Achia Hashiloini, would instruct him. "Leave the city of Brody and move to a smaller village. We will continue our studies there." Reb Yisroel's brother-in-law, the Rav Reb Gershon of Kitav, helped him and his family move to a nearby village, where Reb Yisroel opened an inn, which is a small hotel. This way, Reb Yisroel's wife, Leah Rachel, could earn a living by running the inn, while Reb Yisroel himself remained in the mountains, learning with his Rebbe, Achia Hashiloini. All week, Reb Yisroel stayed in the mountains and would only come home for Shabbos. When Reb Yisroel began learning with Achia Hashiloini, they started with the first pasuk in the Torah, "Bereishis bara Elokim, es hashamayim ve'es haaretz." They studied each pasuk with all of its secret meanings. It took them 10 years to complete the entire Torah in this way, learning the Torah exactly as it is learned in Gan Eden. Reb Yisroel lived these 10 years in complete spiritual enjoyment. Among other things, Reb Yisroel studied the language of the birds and trees, the secrets of creation, and the deepest secrets of the Torah. At this point, miracles became the way of life for Reb Yisroel. One day, Achia Hashiloini told him, "Yisroelik, our learning together will soon come to an end. Very soon you will have to reveal yourself as a leader of Klal Yisrael. This is Hashem's decree." Reb Yisroel was terrified. "Reveal myself?" he thought. "Am I even worthy of being a leader? Besides, I don't want any honor or recognition for what I know. All I want is to learn Torah in secret. And that's exactly what I will continue to do, learning Torah alone here in the mountains, far away from everyone." One day, as Reb Yisroel was learning on his own in the mountains, he heard a loud shout, "My master! My master!" What was that? Reb Yisroel thought, as he turned his head to see where the sound was coming from. He saw a shepherd frantically running towards him, shouting, "My master! My master! I have finally found you, my master! Please come closer!" Reb Yisroel came closer to the shepherd, who was taking care of his sheep. "My master, I must tell you something amazing that had happened to me. 1 month ago, I was taking care of my sheep on a mountain not far from here, when I saw a man who looked like a Jewish scholar walking back and forth in the valley below the mountain. He seemed to be looking for something. Then he stopped in front of a stone, picked it up, and hid a pile of papers under the stone. I wondered, what kind of treasure did that man just hide there? I didn't want the man to notice that I saw what he was doing, so I went back to my sheep and pretended not to see. Later, after the man left, I went to check what was under the stone. I was just about to pick up the stone when a voice rang out,
"Don't you dare touch those papers!"
I looked up in shock. It was that same man looking down at me. He never even left after all. He started walking towards me, shouting all the way,
"Don't touch the papers!"
I got so scared that I started to run up the mountain. But then the stranger started running after me. I stood there petrified and helpless. I didn't know what the man would do to me. When he finally caught up to me, he said,
"Those papers are very holy. They are specifically meant for the rabbi who studies in these mountains. Any other hand that will even touch those papers will be punished. You have been warned."
Then the stranger asked me to do him a favor.
"If you see the holy rabbi who studies here, please tell him about these papers and where they can be found. Here is a purse with money as a reward for your help."
With those words, the man gave me a purse and left as quickly as he had come. "And now, my master, I have finally found you. Let me show you where those special papers are hiding." Reb Yisroel followed the shepherd until they came to a large stone. "Here it is. I have completed my mission," said the shepherd. Reb Yisroel picked up the stone and took the papers. He then gave the shepherd another handful of coins. Reb Yisroel said, "This is for your help. Remember not to tell anyone about all of this." Reb Yisroel went back to the cave and began to read the papers in the package. Unbelievable! Here is a letter written by none other than Reb Adam Baal Shem himself, the famed leader of our group of hidden tzaddikim. And based on this letter, the mysterious Yid who hid these papers under the stone was Reb Adam's own son, the tzaddik Reb Leib. Wow! Let me take a look at this. These papers have within them the greatest secrets of the Torah. And there are 2 stories written here as well. But what were the 2 stories? How would these stories change Reb Yisroel's life? Was Reb Yisroel happy to read what was written in the letter? To find out, please stay tuned for the next episode of The Hair for Kids. Thank you for listening to The Hair for Kids, where we explore the fascinating lives of our Rabbi.